Gooner TV, Albert, what do you make of the game today, mate?
I'm surprised and I'm not surprised, mate. I'm not surprised. I'm surprised. I mean, I'm surprised in the sense of we're coming off the back of you know, defeat against Wolves, against a team where we actually played pretty well, apart from even though we had 9 men at the stage of the game. But I'm not surprised in the way, mate, that you just can't trust his group of players, man. And that's what it comes down to. And you saw the performance you saw today. So I'm sure you'll ask me a few more questions about it.
Yeah, I mean, some of the players, obviously, I blame for mistakes. I mean, Cedric made that mistake to lead to the goal after the first minute. But then also the manager, I felt like bringing on Willian, and he put Saka to left back and Pepe on the right, which we've proved hasn't worked with Pepe on the right, just to accommodate Willian. I mean, what did you make of that?
It's been sort of symptomatic of Arteta's time at Arsenal, which is why people question was the substitutions. I mean, today it completely just threw the team shape because you're obviously losing the balance of Pepe on the left. We've taken obviously Saka from the right to left back. You know, Emil Smith-Rowe looked absolutely out on his feet from what I saw, and he should have come off earlier. I know some people were saying that he should have, you know, probably been taken out of the firing line a bit and start Odegaard, but I actually think from about 70 minutes onwards, we were quite anonymous, mate. I thought the first 20 minutes was quite an open game in the second half in particular, but from the 70th minute onwards, I couldn't see us scoring.
Yeah. I mean, like, you make a good point there about Odegaard. I would have started him. I thought it was clearly obvious that Emil Smith-Rowe was out on his feet in the Wolves game, but he didn't start him. Seemed strange. I mean, when he came on, he looked really lively.
He did okay. Like, for you know what I mean? It's difficult, man, because Arsenal chasing the game. You know what I mean? He needs to get a goal. I didn't have a problem with starting lineup. It was actually the starting lineup was the starting lineup I actually picked in my match preview. I actually only put Matt Ryan in because I didn't want Runarsson starting, and so I wasn't confident that he was going to play. But yeah, when we learned that Matt Ryan was trained for a couple of days, for okay, cool. And actually, by far Arsenal's best player today, out of a disappointing result, was Matt Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to move on now, like, to the two incidents in the game. I mean, a penalty. What would you make of that? Lacazette seemed like he'd be pulled down by Emi Martinez. It seemed obvious that Emi Martinez had his shirt and pulled him down onto him, but it wasn't given. And the referee in the studio at the end of the game said that we're not here to VAR is not here to get the correct decision. Well, what's it there for then?
Yeah, I didn't see that bit with Peter. Was it Peter Walton? I didn't hear that because obviously yeah. I was doing a live watch along. So yeah, man, you got to keep the volume off, man. But it's only when I learned after the game, man, that I was like, what? And I'm sure you're gonna come on to Arteta what he said after the match. But I heard, but I didn't watch it. But yeah, I'm still baffled now. But you know the referee thing, Ross. I'll be honest, mate. With my content, I don't get too caught up in with the refereeing decisions. Yes, of course, if it's contentious, then you have to talk about it. The Saka one for me was I thought was quite bizarre that wasn't even reviewed. I mean, if it was reviewed, then I was watching a different game. But to me, it was quite. I thought that's quite obvious to me. I don't think the defender would have got across to that. Yeah. Where I don't know if it was Matty Cash or Target, whatever it was, but I don't think they would have got across. Saka spun him, and I'm like, when he got the yellow, I thought that was. I don't think the ref was that great anyway, to be honest. But the Lacazette one, go on, bro.
No, the thing is though, right? Surely that's the exact same what happened to David Luiz, and he got sent off for it. I mean, I'm struggling to distinguish the difference between, is it Bednarak's foul for
it's Martial,
David Luiz's, and then the one at Villa. I mean, what's the difference? The only difference we can really work out is that it happened to an Arsenal player.
Yeah, I do. Like I said, I don't dispute it, man. Like the Lacazette incident, but the Saka one for me was the baffling one. I didn't generally think the referee was that great anyway. But I don't want Arsenal fans to sort of, you know what it is, Ross, right? Like even when we played the other night against the Wolves, people were clipping taking still shots, Twitter, Instagram. I just had to turn off my like notifications. But I'm thinking because the game's done in it. Like you can complain as much as you want. Listen, we know the officiating in this country has been poor for about 3 years, off the top of my head. You mean there's a reason why we didn't have any refs in the World Cup, and I don't think we should even have any refs in the Euros. That's how bad it is. So yeah, Arsenal fan, don't let. Yes, we're getting some horrid decisions. Trust me, but don't let that detract away from the performance you saw with your own two eyes, man.
Yeah, I agree. You know, the players have definitely got to take some of the blame. I
Oh,
mean, you made a good point earlier when I spoke to you that it was 30 seconds to go. We desperately need a goal, and they play a short free kick. I mean,
Ross, I couldn't believe it. I genuinely could not believe what I was seeing.
get the ball in the box.
I mean, and with that, that's one thing I must admit, Ross. I know people have their views about Arteta, but things like that, I have to feel sorry for him because he's probably thinking, I'm not being funny. Some of them guys, not all youngsters, some of them are experienced international footballers. You're trying to tell me your game management is that poor that you can't get the ball in the box when we're into injury time with 20 seconds to go and you're taking a short free kick? That's unacceptable, man.
Yeah, it's just baffling, really. There's so many small errors in the team. I mean, it's crazy. Moving on then, just to finish off, like we're moving on to Leeds at home. What's your thoughts on the game, mate?
I was taking the mick. I said when I did my match review after the game with for the Arsenal, and I asked him, I said, "What do you think the score is going to be?" And I said 5-4, so Arsenal. And I was taking the mick. Listen, Leeds, right? One thing you do definitely know, them guys ain't coming to park the bus at the Emirates. I mean, look at that game when they played Manchester United. They lost 6-2, bro. But that game could have finished 6-6.
Yeah.
So I went for Arsenal, and I don't even know why I said the score. I'm not confident by saying it. I'm just chatting rubbish, if I'm being honest. I went Arsenal 3-2. Arsenal will not. If Arsenal keep a clean sheet, I'll be shocked.